Hey everybody, this is your review video for your 5.1 to 5.4 test. This is all about parabolas and quadratic equations. So to start with, this one says identify the vertex, the axis of symmetry, the maximum or minimum value, and the range. So here's your equation. The first step you would do is to go to your calculator, add a graph, and put negative x squared plus 8x minus 14. Okay, there's your graph. So the vertex is either a maximum or minimum. In this case, it's a maximum. And so what you do is menu 6, 3. Menu 6, 3 for maximum. 6 is analyze graph. And maximum was 3. And then just click on the left side and the right side. So then click on the left and the right. And then you're going to want to put 4, 2 for your answer. For your axis of symmetry, that's going to go straight down using the 4, and so it's x equal 4. In this case, they already have the x equal, so you just put 4. And then if it has a little number like this, that means it's multiple choice. Is it minimum or maximum? In this case, it's maximum. If you're doing this on paper, if you'd rather just write max, you can. It doesn't matter. And it says the max value is, and it would be 2. The range is y, and again, it's multiple choice. It's going to be less than or equal to. So you could do this and then 2. So it's basically 2 or lower. So again, we call that negative infinity, 2 bracket. But with inequalities, which is what it wanted, that's what it is. By the way, these questions are in a random order, just like they would be on the test. That was from 5.2, number 4. The next one says identify the vertex, focus, and directrix, and this is number 5.4.10. There's no extra numbers, and so the vertex of this would be 0, 0. And so for this one, we have x equal 1/8 y squared. We know that if it's x equal y squared, then that would open to the right. Because if you think of y equal x squared or x squared equal y, those would open up and be down if it's negative. And if it's x equal y squared or y squared equal x, that would open right, and it would be left if negative. Okay, so for the focus and directrix, well, what we first have to do is graph it, and you'd add graph, and then you change this to be an equation template. So menu 3, 3. Okay. Menu 3, 3 is equation template. and then you go to parabola, So 2 is parabola. And in our case, we want to choose the one that has x equal, that has no parentheses. So we're going to do 4 standard form x equal ay squared plus by plus c. So that's number 4. It says E1 now instead of F1, and it has x equal, and so you put 1/8 here, and then you go to the right or tab and you get 0, 0. So basically we're going to put 1/8 and then 0 and then 0. So that's your graph. To get the focus, for the focus, you do analyze, analyze. So menu, analyze, and then analyze. Analyze graph, which was 6, and then analyze conics, was 8. And then foci is 3. Remember, foci is plural of focus, but you just have 1 for an ellipse, for a parabola. You would have 2 for an ellipse. So then you just move your mouse pointer, and there's your answer. So basically, move your mouse pointer to touch the parabola. And there's your ordered pair. You just click to set it, and then you have to hit escape, and then grab it and move it. Okay, so 2, 0. I'm not going to write that part that I just did. It's just about moving it. You know, that's hit escape first, then push down in the middle, and then move it. So you get 2, 0. Now, hopefully by now you know all you do is, if you have a sketch of it, and if you're going right to for your focus, you'd go left to for your directrix. So that would be vertical, so it's x equal and the same distance apart. So it's vertical, and then it's the same distance. The other way to do it is menu, analyze, analyze, and then 5 is directrix. And again, touch your parabola, and then you can see x equal -2. So for directrix, could use menu, analyze, analyze, directrix. Okay, and again, in this case it's vertical, but if it were a parabola that opens up or down, it would be horizontal. So remember, vertical lines would be x equal, horizontal lines would be y equal. Okay, on your next one, it says broadcasters use the parabolic microphone on football stadium sidelines for broadcasting purposes. You can read through this, but the diameter is 12, so that means your radius is 6, and your depth is 2. So think of this as the origin, and then this is 6, 2, and this is -6, 2. So for this one, we're going to have a parabola that opens up. And so this would be based on a vertical parabola. So you're going to have have to find out where the receiver should be placed, which is basically the focus. It's going to be somewhere between 0 and 6, and it wants a fraction or an integer. So what you're going to want for this one is to use your equation. It's y equal ax squared. Now a is really 1 over 4c as you relate it to the c variable. Now substitute x equals 6 and y equal 2. So you go with this point, because it's positive, 2 equal 1 over 4c times 6 squared. So that's 2 equal 1 over 4c times 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9, so you have 9 over c. And then basically these switch places. You multiply by c to both sides, divide by 2 to both sides, so c is 9/2. So you could put 9/2 here, or you could put 4 and 1/2. Alright, so it is reasonable because it's between 0 and 6. Alright. Our next one wants you to graph the equation, and it's multiple choice. The main thing is on this one, remember it's HK for your vertex. And so also you change your sign. So it's going to be 3, -5. So remember, change your sign. Because this is really moving right 3, and this is really moving down 5. So based on that, just find your vertex. And the other thing is, because everything's positive, okay, everything's positive, so that means it's going to be up or right. And then since it's y squared equal x, basically that's going to open to the right. And so now you know for sure it's C. Okay, the next one says identify this in vertex form and identify your attributes. So basically you're going to graph this and then find the minimum or maximum, because we have to change to the different form, which is vertex form. So what we start with is graphing, and you put x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, right there. Menu 6, it's a low point, so it's 2, and so you go from here to here. That's 2, -1. So at this point, what we know is it would be y minus a -1 equal a times x minus 2 squared. So that's really y plus 1 equal a times x minus 2 squared. On most of these, they want you to solve for y because it says y equal. So we have y equal, again, a, but I'm going to change a to be 1 over 4c. Times x minus 2 squared minus 1. So actually I'm going to keep this as A. What I remember is since it said y equal x squared minus 4x plus 3, there's no number in front of A, so A is 1. And so automatically this is easier. It's just x minus 2 squared minus 1. So that's right here. X minus 2 squared minus 1. So A is 1, B is negative 4, and C is 3. This is going to be more helpful also when you do the quadratic formula and when you do factoring. But yeah, if A is already 1, then you don't have to write it. So then your axis of symmetry would go through the x coordinate since this opens up, and so it's x equal 2. It does say an equation, and so you can't just put 2, you have to put x equal 2, because this is a vertical line. And since A is positive, it opens up, so that's D. And the minimum, remember if you look at the graph, this is a low point, the minimum would be negative 1. So this says minimum, this says maximum. And then for the range, it's basically, okay, they do want interval notation. You start at the low end, which is negative 1, and you go up to infinity. So that's what they want, which is the same as y greater than or equal to negative 1, which is inequality notation. But they want interval, and so it has to be this way. Okay, for your next one, identify the vertex, axis of symmetry, max or min, and the domain and range. Okay, so your vertex is from here and here, because this is your h and this is your k. And so this is just positive 8, negative 29. And your axis of symmetry is x equal 8. So this time they already put the x equal. Again, be careful if they didn't already have it, but this time they did. And this one, just in general, graphing it by hand, 8, negative 29, and it's a negative sign, so it opens down. So that'd be kind of like that. So this would have to be your max. So the max value is negative 29. Your domain would be all real numbers, not excluding anything. So basically as wide as you want. And no exceptions. So it's not like it is for the range, basically. Domain for parabolas is always all real numbers. The range would be from negative 29 down, so it's less than or equal to negative 29. So this is because it would be negative infinity, comma, negative 29 bracket. Okay. On your next one, it says it's possible to find the rate of change by finding the slope between 2 points. This one would probably be easier on the computer instead of on paper, but let me see. Okay, that's easy. That's 1, 10, and then 2 goes with 9. So the rate of change with this, it's basically going down 1, right 1, so that means the slope is -1. The next one has 2. Oh, you again just put the same number here. But then 3 goes with 6. So this one is going down 3, right 1. So that's a slope of -3. Slope is the same as the rate of change. That's like a really important concept in calculus. So 3, 6 here. Then for 4, it's, let me see this real quick. For 4, it's 1. And so this would be down 5, right 1, so this is -5. So what is noticeable about the rate of change is it increases as you go left. It increases. The rate of change decreases at a greater rate. Decreases at a greater rate. And then when it's talking about the left side, how would it change? It would increase. So basically go up. All right. Okay. On this one, you want to use quadratic regression. So for this one, you do your new document, add list and spreadsheet, label your XY, and put your points. And then over here in cell D1, you're going to do quadratic and choose X and Y. Okay, so once again, stuff we've done before. If it's a review, it shouldn't be the first time you're doing this. At people who haven't done the homework. Okay, list and spreadsheet. Put X here, put Y here. 1, 2, 4, 8, 3, -31. So go over to D1, menu, statistics is number 4, and then quadratic is number 6. And then you put X here and Y here, and this is -4 for A, B is 7, and C is 5. So what that means is you have Y equal -4 X squared plus 7X plus 5. Okay, on this one it says sketch the parabola using the given information. So you basically go to your vertex point, which is 0, -2, and I'm going to label that V. Then your point is -3, 8. Okay, that's +8, which is up here. So this is point. So what you would do is you would just see that this is your line of symmetry, which is your y-axis, which is x equals 0, And so from here to here is going to be the same distance apart. And so if this was negative 3, 8, then you would have 3, 8. So make sure you label your points, and then looks like that, and it keeps going. So label your points, at least 3. In this case, that's all you need. So this one you don't do any sort of regression, because it's not possible to do regression with only 2 points. You just use your symmetric point. Okay. On the next one, this is the one about the dry and wet road conditions. And to start with, we have this data, which is going to go for part A, having to do with the dry road condition. And then this one has to do with the wet road condition. So for the dry road condition, we would do our quadrag with these points. So we're going to call these x, this y. Now, if it were only 3 points, then you could just type over this and all your values would dynamically change. But since I have 5 points, I'm going to start a new document. So list in spreadsheet, x, y, and then just start typing your numbers. Zero, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then over here, 0, 33, 89, 115, and 195. Okay, so there's your points, and then again I would go up to like cell D1 and then do menu, statistics, stat calculations, then quadratic regression. This is where you'd put x and y, because that's what we labeled it. And that's your values. They want these rounded to the 100th, which means 2 decimal places. And so for this one also. So this says 0.064, and so you put 0.06, and the a is what goes in front of the x squared. So 0.06 x squared. This is one that says do an equation, so don't forget the y equal, because you could have everything right but forget the y equal, and then it wouldn't like it. So this is y equal 0.06x squared, and then this part has 0.614, so you put 0.61, so plus 0.61x, and this is minus 0.153, and so round down in that case, so minus 0.15. So that's your regression. Now the next one says using the points, and so you look at the graph using the point 0, 0, 50 corresponds to 250, and 60 corresponds to 300. No, 350. 350. So this one only has 3 points, and again, if you were to just try to type over it, you get error messages, probably like a dimension error, dimension mismatch. So just start a new one again, and go X here, Y here, 0, 50. I'm sorry, yeah, 0, 50, and 60. And then for this side, you get 0, 250, and 350. And again, do a quadratic regression. Menu 4, 1, 6. So again, menu 4, 1, 6 is quadrag. And then you put X and put Y. So 0.08 X squared. So we need Y equal 0.08 X squared plus 0.83 X, and then it's going to be plus 0. So we can leave off that. Okay, so those are your two equations. And now fill in the part for 65 miles an hour for each one. Skip down to the last sentence. So the stopping distance is longer on wet roads or on dry roads. Dry doesn't make sense, and so it's going to be A. But you do have to put in your numbers for both. So the first one wants dry, and the second one wants wet. So 0.06 times 65 squared plus 0.61 times 65 minus 0.15. That gives you 293 feet to stop. So if you're going 65 miles an hour, it takes about 300 feet to stop when it's dry. So about, about a 300 feet. The next one, wet, would be 0.08 times 65 squared plus 0.83 times 65. That gives you 391.95, so 392. So that's about an extra 100 feet. So that's why whenever it's raining, or if it's icy even, make sure y'all drive slower. Okay, the next one says write the equation of the parabola with the vertex at the origin and the given directrix. So if the vertex is at the origin, put the dot there. The directrix is x equal -3, which means it's a vertical line. So x equal -3 is like this. And this distance is 3, so this distance is also 3 for your focus. Your focus is at 3, 0. So this would open right. Bless you. So this one, if it opens right, it would start with x equal ay squared. And really, we can change that to be 1/4cy squared. So in our case, the distance from here to here is 3, so c equal 3. So 1/4 times 3 is 1/12. So x equal 1/12 y squared. So that's A. Okay, on the next one, for the function, the vertex is given. So again, that's either the minimum or maximum. Find the unknown coefficients. So what you do to start with is notice that A is 1, but you don't know B and C. And so we're going to start with y equal, so that means the vertex form would be y equal a times x minus h squared plus k. The reason why we have to use h and k this time is because our vertex is not at 0, 0. So we got to plug those in. And again, we know a is 1, so that part just drops out. So y equal 1 times x minus a negative 5, or just put plus 5 squared, and then minus 3. So the next step on this is expand it. Let's see. This is like x plus 5 times x plus 5 minus 3. So what that means is x times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x. That's an outside. And inside is also 5x, so that doubles to make 10x. And then plus 25. Then you're minus 3. So remember, when you're expanding this, you always double this. Like in this case, double 5x to get 10x. And then this gives you y equal x squared plus 10x plus 22. So b is 10 and c is 22. Okay, on this next one, you want to maximize your revenue, and so just type this equation, negative 2.5 x squared plus 700x. Negative 2.5 x squared plus 700x. Okay, menu for A is zoom fit. And then I want to zoom out a few times, because right now it looks linear, but we know it's x squared. There's no division or anything, like it would be for a rational function. So we just need to change our window. So zoom out is menu 4, and then just move your mouse pointer, click, click again. Well, menu 4, zoom out again, and again, and again. Okay, there we go. Okay, so once you're at that spot, then you go to Analyze Graph and go to Maximum. And so between here and here, that's basically 140, comma 49,000. Oops, I put an extra. No, that's right. 49,000. Okay, so your price is $140, your selling price, and if you sell all of them, you would make $49,000, which is good. On your next one, This is your vertex, which is HK, and it's opening down. So this would be based on y equal a times x minus h squared plus k, and we start with knowing that h is 2 and k is 5. Okay, so now the next step on this is substitute the given point 0, negative 15. So this will be x, this will be y, and solve for a. So you don't know what a is. You do know it's negative, but you don't know what a is yet. And so we put negative 15 over here equal a times x minus 2. Whoops, the x is 0. 0 minus 2 squared plus 5. Okay, negative 2 squared is positive 4, so this is 4a plus 5. From there you just work it out, subtract 5, so negative 20 is 4a, and then divide by 4, so negative 5 is a. So based on that, you know your equation is negative 5 times x minus 2 squared plus 5. You basically take the vertex and you have to put your a value in. Okay, your next one is just about choosing the multiple choice graph, and it opens right. And so based on that, it's going to be x equal y squared based. So it's not C or D. You know your focus is 5, so C is 5. And so for your formula, it's x equal 1 over 4c times y squared. So 1 over 4 times 5 is 1 over 20 y squared. And so that's B. Okay, your next one says write an equation of the parabola with the given vertex and focus. So to sketch the graph, negative 5, 3 is here, and negative 5, 4 is there. So there's your vertex and focus. It's going to open up, and your C distance is 1 because it goes between 3 and 4. So if it's opening up, then that's y equal a times x minus h squared plus k. And this is like 1 over 4c times x minus a negative 5, so x plus 5 squared plus 3. Now in our case, since c is 1, you just can say 1/4. It's 1/4 times 1, so 1 over 4 times x plus 5 squared plus 3. So y equal 1 over 4 times x plus 5 squared plus 3. Okay, our next one is about sketching the graph and labeling the axis of symmetry. So remember a times x minus h squared plus k. So this would have negative 4 comma 3 as your vertex. So based on that, we already know our axis of symmetry is x equal negative 4. And so remember the 1 meant that it's multiple choice and it's x equal 4. I'm sorry, negative 4. Negative 4 is right there. Okay, so then we just need to graph it and start with negative 4, 3. Label your points. So go to your table once it's in your calculator. Negative 2 times x plus 4 squared plus 3. Okay, so it looks like that. Go Control T and try to find some good points like negative 3, 1. Well, if our vertex is negative 4, 3, then we ought to start with that one and go to negative 3, 1, and negative 2, negative 5. So if you're graphing this on Math Excel, then you got to start, okay, when graphing on Math Excel, start at the highest or lowest, because otherwise you're going to have trouble reversing it. Okay, so negative 5, 3, then negative 3, 1, and negative 2, negative 5. And then automatically you know from symmetry these others. So make sure again you label your 3 points. And then the next one says graph the function and describe how it's translated. This one, the minus 5, is outside, and so this means down 5. So 5 units down is C. And again, you want to graph it. So we have x squared minus 5. Go to your table. And at this one we have 0, negative 5. And then in the table you can see the symmetry, but we want to go 1, negative 4, and 2, negative 1. Okay, so 0, negative 5 is here, and then 1, negative 4, 2, negative 1. So then you know your symmetry, like this. And 0, negative 5, 1, negative 4, 2, negative 1. So again, label your 3 points. Okay, your last one on the review is determine whether a quadratic model exists for this. And so based on these, remember it's like f of x equal y. And so you're going to do your quadrag with your x's as 0, 2, and negative 1. And your y's as negative 6, negative 22, and negative 4. So just like we did before, we're doing quadrag. So on this you do your list and spreadsheet. Okay, so new document, list and spreadsheet, put x here, put y here, 0, 2, negative 1, negative 6, negative 22, and negative 4. then menu 4, 1, 6. Then you put your X and Y. Okay, so this one tells me A equal -2, B equal -4, C equal -6. In that blank it says AX squared plus BX plus C. So that means it's -2x squared minus 4x minus 6. Okay, so that's the end of the review. Hope that helps.